Ride through the city like Brendan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brendan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brendan Thick Boy Schaub.
We live. What's up, fam? Big Brown Breakdown is live. What's going on? Super Chat. How we doing, y'all? How are we doing? It's muggy out here in Austin. It's been raining. We got the crew, after show but later, Stevie G, Capone, Slow Fit, Abe, Charles, Jehovah Thickness, ZT Coaching, what up, South Florida? Black Ross, what we do? Gamma Girl, what up, girl? Ad Smitty, what up? Captain 420, what up? J Luke, we in here, that's right. How's everybody doing, man? Everybody good? Fresh from the gym, lifting with my boys. What up, what up? Stay weird, MJ. How's the weather out there? Rain off and on. Slow Fit, still in shock. I'm not in shock. I'm over it now. You got the Paddy train. Did you see Paddy's post? Where you call it the pad thai move? So dope. Big Bad says, driving to South Carolina from Oklahoma. That's a drive, my man. Capone, rain like a MF in Houston. Yeah. Stevie G, feel like Tiger and Boss are going to be freakishly strong like you, starting them young. Yeah, that's what my dad did. Graphic Gorilla Graphic, what up, man? Charles, how do you feel about Paddy Arman #1 contender fight? I'm not mad at it. I like it. Black Ross, nah, I'm over it. Yeah, you can't dwell on it too much, you know? Can't dwell on it too much. Omar, I thought Padlock was a good name for the choke. I like that. Pad Thai. Black Ross, Boss is going to be a killer. Dude, that kid is so athletic, it's crazy for a 6-year-old. I'm nervous for him to start tackle, though, I'll be honest with you. We're doing, we had a little bit of a practice last night, so he goes with the 10-year-olds. He just has to use his quickness. It's so hilarious. ZT Coach, and I'm moving to Texas in January. Any Rex, my girl and I are looking awesome, but don't really know where to look. If you want like a slower life, great schools, great sports, more land, more bang for your buck, look at Dripping Springs. They have great sports out there. Round Rock is dope. Rough Hollow, the area I'm in, is paradise as far as schools and stuff like that. Timothy Coppinger, thanks for the donation. Nervous for him or other kids? Talking about Bossy, nervous for him. 6, I started at 6, but I was like Tiger, not as big as Tiger, but I was a bigger kid. Bossy's lean and mean, so we'll see. Last night, T and this kid, we're doing tackling drills. T hit this kid so damn hard. I was like, first time I ever like, oof. Oof. Ryan Byting, hey, Brandon, I was at the fight, and I got to say, Paddy had way more fans that came in from Europe. Also told you if Conor shaves his head, he's screwed. Facts. He had a mohawk, so that was tough. Yeah, man, Paddy, there's this infectious fun about him. So I think people are vibing with him right now. And England always travels well, especially for Paddy. He's just a fun dude. Black Ross, the 125 division slowly becoming one of the top 4 divisions to watch for the hardcores. For the hardcores, yeah. Captain 420, the new episode of T-Fat K is amazing funny, dude. Yeah, when we're talking about Conor meeting Jesus. So dumb. Black Ross, and I'm normally on board with. Yeah, Flyweight's fun. It's just for the casuals. You know, you look at Mighty Mouse. He's bigger now because of what he does on YouTube and streaming and stuff. But for whatever reason, I think the armchair quarterbacks out there look at the small guys like, I can beat them. I'm not going to watch this, and they're so wrong. North Pole Racing, good morning. It's rumored Gane versus Tom in Paris for September. Any insight who you got? No, I can find out after this. I'll make some calls for you guys. Gane versus Tom. I have Tom by Slaughter, and I wish it wasn't in Paris. Again, why are we bending the knee for Ciryl Gane? What sort of black magic or French magic does this dude have over the UFC? How many title shots? How many intern titles? Now we're fighting in his backyard, and Tom's the one who got screwed over. Why not do that fight in England? I don't get it. Leo Silva, doesn't Paddy versus Charles make sense for BMF number one contender? Yeah, I like that fight for Paddy. Probably the toughest matchup out of everyone we're mentioning, though. Nate Dogg says, did you see Tom Aspinall comment about Joe diagnosing Conor's leg? He was hilarious. I haven't seen it, no. Was he being cool or was he hating on Joe? Ryan by Ting says, if they did a card in Europe, it would be sick. Luke Riley is legit. Luke Riley's super legit. Marshall, welcome to the party. Stay Weird says, Roy Val's a dog. Love watching all his fights. Me too. He never has a boring fight. Stevie G, what happens at 55 now? Justin's champ, just beat Ilia. Max beat Justin, lost to Charles. Charles beat Justin, Max, but lost to Ilia. I feel like 155 is a shit show in a great way. I don't think you missed the opportunity to do Paddy versus Ilia. I think it's a good time for both of them. The biggest caveat there is what should Justin want to do? Because if he dips out, Arman would have to fight for the vacant belt. Arman has to fight, man. He has to get going. Can't keep doing eating videos and hanging out with streamers. He has to get to work. Getting to work isn't doing streaming. You got to get to work. Stevie G, exciting fights but no clear direction. We'll get more direction once the UFC starts booking fights. Omar, funny to think Mighty is bigger than he was. He still looks small. Yeah, he's a smaller cat, so talented though. Rafi, what up, dog? Sticky Icky Ricky says, what up, B? What up, Chen? Should Roy Val run it back? Not yet. Black Ross, I'm betting you on Ciryl. Let's do it. Your French dude is gonna get jacked up. Just watch. At Smitty, what's it mean if my comment is grayed out? I don't know. I don't like the term grayed out, though. Slowfit B, how do you feel if a fighter gets injured with his first few minutes and the injury wasn't caused by the other fighter? Should the fight be a no contest rather than a TKO or KO loss? Yes. Patrick Martinez, do heavyweights have fighters have long careers like John Jones is a year older than Conor McGregor? Yeah, because they're less skilled and power's the last thing to go, so they can still perform. And it's a slower division. But at the lighter weight, speed and skill is, that's the way you win fights. And once that gets diminished, you slow down, you're cooked at those lighter divisions. Charles says it's not Ciryl. It's probably more anger because Tom is with Eddie. Fair point. Captain 420 sent 5 Thick Boy gift memberships. Let's go. Comic Cody says, I hope Tom doesn't start with a flying kick. I don't think anyone should start with a flying kick. The Stona says, I don't care what you say, B. Gana's going to starch him this time. Let's bet on it. Chat. Let's see what's up. Marshall Erickson says, Brendan, did you hear about Christina and Tom Segura? Sad, man. Yeah, it is super sad. Sad because they have 2 kiddos. But people grow apart. Who knows what happened there? They built something great and hopefully it continues. North Pole Racing. Why was Rogan given a hard time to Whitaker for not being shredded? Yeah. J Bone Malone says, some reporters are saying to book Conor Chandler if Conor fights again. In my opinion, the ship has sailed and nobody wants to see it. Max trilogy with a Max if Conor comes back. No, I'm not trying to see a Max trilogy again. I'd like Max to get paid. It'd be cool for Chandler to get that fight. Is he going to wait probably a year and a half again for it at his age? I think they should go their separate ways. Black Ross, Justin versus Charles rematch if Justin wants it. Do you reward Charles after that weak-ass fight against Max, even though he dominated in grappling? Slowfit, Max is big game hunt now. He said he's not fighting until 2027, so maybe the Conor rematch or Justin rematch since Justin's out to next year too. If Justin does want to come back, I'd rather see Arman get a shot at the title. Did the way Paddy won take a bit of the sting out of what happened to Conor? Yes. Paddy saved the night for all of us. Black Ross says Arman versus Ilia or Ilia versus Paddy. I think you got to do Ilia versus Paddy. Why would Arman fight Ilia coming off a loss, you know? I think do Ilia versus Paddy. Even though Paddy got the win, he's not coming off a loss, but he did just lose to Justin, so it's a little weird. ZTO Coaching says Conor will still come back and get a win even if it's against Chandler. Do you think he's done? Dustin said he would come back on Deep Waters yesterday too. Dude, I just... Conor didn't even look great in warm-ups, man. You know? So it's a year and a half away. You know, it's not like the Chandler fight's a shoe-in for him, you know? It's probably his best bet to get a win in the UFC, but outside that, he'd still be an underdog in that fight. Stay Weird says, you got Usman or DDP? DDP, just because of his age and size. Usman's a little more technical. Patrick Martinez says, is the Deep Waters podcast turned to The View? Last episode was cringe. I don't watch any, main... What would you call that? I don't watch any of the, mainstream UFC stuff. It's so bland. I'm not saying those guys are bland, but it's obviously produced by Paramount. It's all just, normal takes, you know? Just nothing, not a ton of insight, just kind of bland. It's safe, you know? No one's rocking the boat. That's not fun for me. Marshall Rickson says, Arman belongs in a cage, not a ring. He needs to get in that goddamn cage. Ryan Byting says, Brendan, what are the odds, though, between the next year and a half? What if Justin gets killed by Max and Conor versus Justin's fight still there? Yeah, be a tough fight for Conor. After Showbut later says, the gray means it didn't go through because of the language or something. Carlos says, hey, B, fan question. After the Conor injury, if he wants to come back, does surgery, then would the route be stem cell, knee up, hopes quick recovery? Yeah, stem cell, BPC, the works. Captain 420 says, like the stream, boys. Ooh, what was that, G-Wagon going by? Gamma Girl says, grayed out means not sent. When slow messages turned out, sometimes makes you want wait a certain amount of time before sending another message. If gray out, probably didn't send. Stevie G says, Khalil out of his fight this weekend. Bummer. I wanted to see him KO and Kalaev. Tough fight for Khalil, but I agree. What happened in Khalil? That's a bummer. Ooh, Slowfit says, Chin, put a poll, Gane or Tom. Let's get the hype train early.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like this super chat is, they like Gane. Rafi says, I was wondering if you're going to do a big brown showdown for the Ian versus Islam. Islam? When is that fight? It just depends. Well, no. It's not like Tigers and Bossy are going to play football at night. If I can make it happen, that'd be the next one. Big Bad says Roundtree's out. What happened to him? Tomcat, I hope Islam doesn't retire after the fight, after Ian's fight. If he wins, he needs to fight Prates or Morales. Then he's goated, no debate. He's up there. I wouldn't mind him retiring just because he's not active, dude. It drives me. Arman's not active. He's not active. Hamzat's not active. It drives me fucking nuts. Rafi says, I'll put 20 on Aspinall. Love it. Slowfit, thoughts on DP throwing shots at Conor after everything going with DP? Should he just lay low? No, they don't like each other. I don't mind it. Ad Smitty says, Ciryl versus Aspinall, Paddy versus Ilia, dumb numbies. I know, but when are they planning to do Ciryl versus Aspinall? When they say? October?
I'll look at it.
I don't think Ilia can come back that fast. J Bone Malone says, who would you book Conor with if he comes back? Dr. Brian Stutter said Conor could potentially be sparring in 6 weeks. Not a chance. No. If it's a minor meniscus tear, not a chance. No. I fought an Ultimate Fighter with a torn meniscus. The way Conor's moving, that ain't a meniscus. He ain't fighting. 6 weeks, that's just dumb. That guy's going for views. I get it. I get the game, but that's a dumb take. Black Ross, the more I think about it, I want Stevenson versus Hokit. Not yet, dude. Not yet. Why kill it off? And Stevenson's had one fight. I'm curious how many people watch that. Did they release numbers yet? Chat, do you know if they released numbers yet for the UFC on Paramount Conor card? Gamma Girl says, Sam Tripoli's Deep Waters is my favorite Deep Waters podcast. Yeah, Sam's one of the greats. Adrian says, everyone talking about how he looked old is hilarious. Like 5 years doesn't change us at all. I don't know. Marshall Erickson says, why is Gable saying Hokit will move down before fighting him? Because it's from the same camp, I assume. But he also said, if we have to fight, we have to fight. So it's a little confusing, yeah? Patrick asking for a poll of Aspinall gone. Comic Cody says, Conor looked dead and scared behind the eyes all night. The Conor strut was also tough to watch if you saw that come up. Yeah, all of it was tough. All of it was tough. Charles Daly Hunt says, it's weird to see all those guys just shitting on Conor, Dustin, Jorge, Dan. I know there's history, but just petty. I get it, and I don't. Now's not the time. Welcome to the party, Nick. Black Ross, I wouldn't mind Conor versus Masvidal. I didn't even think about that. That's not bad. Oh, Blakeo says, non-UFC question, how you like living in Texas these days? Dude, it's so good. It's been great. Best move I've ever made.
This is the hottest time since we've been here, right?
I don't mind the hot weather. Doesn't get to me.
Yeah, I know.
Andrew Rice says, how long does it take a new prospect like Gable to get to the top level of the Aspinall and Hokit? It's different depending on the division. 100%. If he has that lightweight 45 or 70, you're looking at, 7 to 8 fights because there's so much talent and there's a lot of veterans up there. Heavyweight's so thin. He's probably 3 away. Ralph says, do you think Max versus Gaethje 2 would be a good fight? Justin mentioned he underestimated Max. I think it's a different fight. He doesn't catch him with a spinning back kick. I wouldn't be mad at it. It does that get Justin to come back, though, and put the title on the line? Drew says, I will say Paddy has the best walkout. I've always said that. I agree with you, brother. Ad Smitty says, Dustin calling out Conor for a fight, scream for attention and notoriety. I like Dustin, but bad timing. Agree. Black Ross says, Islam going to lose to Ian? That's a tough one. I hope Ian wins, but that's a very tough fight. Jehovah Thickness. B, what was your first car? I had a 3000 GT. The twin turbo. Did you have the twin turbo? Or you had the SL? Because there's the SL, and then I forget the other one that was twin turbo. But my first car was a Ford F-150 with a 5.4 Triton flare side red. Jay Luke says, we all need to understand that the ride is over for Conor. It was written all over his face. He wasn't ready to be in there, injured or not. I don't think he was ready to perform at a high level. Yeah, and I think, I had so many friends, family, fans hit me up going, how can you say it's over for Conor? There's one more fight. When I say it's over for Conor, it's not that you're not going to see him in an octagon or ring ever again. You will, guarantee it. It's of substance. He's out of the competitive pool. So he'll fight a Jake Paul, Floyd, Jorge, Chandler. Like, it's not going to mean much. He's no longer fighting for greatness. He's fighting for money. Comic Cody says, Tom all day. Tom is what Frank Mir would have been if there was never a motorcycle accident. Ooh, that's a good take. Frank had better boxing. Slowfit, who you got, Arman or Colby this weekend? Arman. North Pole Racing, I want Gane to win, so, okay. I want Gane to win so Tom can never talk crap to John Jones again. He's not really talking shit to him anymore, is he? Kova's Colt says, Tom's going to start with a low blow, take him down before the ref sees it. If I'm him, I do that. AJ Thompson, Share Bullet is more active than Islam, Hamzat, etc. He can barely fight anywhere. Correct. And he has one freaking eye. Black Ross, Charles is easily the number one contender. Yeah, that's a fair take. Nick Henley, how many nicotine pouches do you have in your lip right now? 4. I have to show about later. I met Tripoli a couple times. He's always so damn cool. Yeah, Tripoli's great. Kid Nicholas B, would you and the kids want to come to Williamsport, Pennsylvania for the Little League World Series? No, football starts up, bud. We won't be able to travel. I will show myself out. Conor versus Masvidal and Gamebred. You commentating in Miami. I would make that one. You'd have to get out his contract first. Problem with that is it's bare knuckle MMA, so there's still kicks involved. Conor needs to eliminate all kicking and just do bare knuckle or boxing. Joe Daddy, is this show on Patreon as well? No, sir. Jehovah Thickness, why do you think we've never seen Tony Johnson Jr. in the UFC? Seems to have fought all major promotions besides UFC. I'm not familiar with him, brother. Omar says, Hogan said he's not going anywhere and will fight Gable when it comes to it. They don't even train around each other, just share the same coach, Jim. Yeah, that's different than being actual training partners. Stay weird. What's next for St. Denis? Not a contender fight. That dude will never be champ. Too much of a meathead. Black Ross, nobody's stock loses Stevenson's Hokit fight? Hokit would. Yeah, Hokit would. You're fighting a guy with one fight in the UFC. It's not. If I'm Hokit, I'd turn that fight down right now. Stevenson has a lot of work to do. He's nowhere near. He hasn't accomplished anything near in the UFC that Hokit has. It'd be a no win for Hokit. It doesn't get him close to the title. Stevenson's not a name yet. You just beat two big names. And for Stevenson, that makes sense either. He's on his rookie contract. So why fight these big names and not make money? Adrian TX says, I also think Ian Gary fizzles out after Islam dominates him. No, because his fighting style. He's a tough night in the office. He beats most guys, not named Islam. Nate Doc says, Chin, do you enjoy the extra workload these days? Every time you talk about home life, you sound like you're bored most of the time, wondering if it helps out doing more work. We all enjoy the extra content. Cheer the fuck up.
Definitely not bored.
I added cheer the fuck up.
Yeah, I know. Definitely not bored.
I just think it's Chin's demeanor. He's never been too excited for anything in life. You know?
Around you. I think around work. Because I'm just professional when I'm here. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, we're friends at this point. You can let your hair down.
I got no more hair left.
Adrian says, Paddy needs one more win. Then it's a title shot against whoever's holding the belt. Agree. Especially if he beats Ilia. Gilmer Girl says, poll results looking good for Tom. Yeah, baby. That's why I love you guys. Slowfist says, don't believe the numbers have come out yet. Dana was gloating about after the White House. The folks at Paramount were blowing up his phone, but no mention after the Conor fight. That's a bad sign. Ad Smitty says, if you have fights left on your contract, can you come back and still get those fights if it's been a long time? Yep. Like if I came back right now, let's say I fought in bare knuckle or Gamebred, the UFC still, I think I had 2 fights left on my contract. I'd have to get released from them, even though I've been retired for how long now? 12 years? Wooten Warriors Boot Camp. Do you think UFC should match up Gable versus Ty? Give Gable the rub-off big name who's on a skid? No. With Ty's lost, 7, 8 in a row? Sean Murph, what up, fam? What up, man? Rafi says, I believe Justin will be mentioned on Rogan how he wants... I believe Justin, while he mentioned on Rogan how he wants that back because Max is the only one to ever knock him out. He also mentioned that because Max was a smaller guy coming up, he didn't. Yeah, I can see if Justin wants to do it. Rafi says, feels like the fairy normally feels. Nah, he looked different. Jehovah Thickness, B, top 5 UFC entrances. Number 1 given to Anderson Silva when he walked out to DMX. That's a good one. Paddy's up there. Conor, Sinead O'Connor. Iceman had some good ones. Chuck Liddell had some good ones. Korean Zombies was great. Tomcat, is Jamal Charles still Bossy's football coach? No. Yes, he's on the coaching staff, but the head coach is Derek Johnson. So you have 2 all-pros as their coaches. Jehovah Thickness had the VR4. That's a twin turbo. Damn, baller. Big Rich says, do you think Tom will be cautious to rush Gane, fearing more accidents? I hope not. That's a problem if he is. Black Ross says, off the card topic, but I'm not ready to close the door on JDM. He looked bad in his 2 losses, but he looks so good before then. Him and Ilia will be back, and I think they are both champ again. Ilia could. I don't know about JDM. That seems to be a mental thing. Ilia is not a mental thing. JDM seems to be some issues going on there. Sticky Icky Ricky says Tom sub's gone easily. He looked bad trying to get the takedown early on, but we'll see. Jehovah Thickness is be out here reading so well that CT says I'm a head out. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, brother. I don't get all of them right. Captain 420 says, I don't see how Tom can take down Gane. Might be his only way to win this by submission. No, he can win on the feet. He hits harder than Ciryl. Add somebody, you think they put Conor in the Hall of Fame? Yeah, no doubt. Andrew, what up, B? How you doing, my friend? I'm great, brother. How are you? Black Ross, one of the best all-time walkouts was Tony Ferguson. Yeah, with like the B-boy stuff, the dancing. Izzy's had some good ones, too. Comic Cody says, I tried Zins a while back. I hate Zins. It tastes like soap. My hands and feet were vibrating. Just got to get used to nicotine. LO, I thought I was going to have to pull the car over. Yeah, I've been there, dude. What pouches would you recommend? Black Buffalo is what I roll with. I like a thick pouch. Pause. Stevie G, JDM versus Brady would be sick. That's a great matchup, Steve. Big Rich says, Hokett needs to win like 5+ without losing with the shit he talks? No. He's one fight away from the title shot, Bob. Slowfit, should DC start working with Hokett so we can have Jones Gable versus Hokett DC? That's fun. If DC started cornering Hokett. Black Ross, if Hokett lost, then we'd all say he lost to Olympian and would get a pass? No. UFC fan base doesn't give a fuck about your wrestling credentials. Dela Cruz, you think Conor fights in BKFC? Yes. Maybe not directly next, but yes. I will show myself out. Says, do you think Hokett can and will drop the act now he's known? I think you do a mix. I don't think he has to go just the act like he did to get on the map. I like when you see the realness of Hokett. He's too good of an athlete to keep that bullshit up. But it's got him this far, so. Fit. Thoughts on Aaron Donald seen at the Rams facility with pads? You think he comes back? I do. It'd be so sick. I'd actually love to see Conor fight BKFC. That's from the Stona. Me too. I think it'd suit him well. Black Ross, Nate Diaz coming out to Still Ballin' from Tupac was my favorite walkout. Ever? No. Good, but ever? Best walkout ever? No, sir. Add some of your action and Paddy winning was awesome. I'm such a Paddy fan. I've been on that train for I don't know how long. I like Paddy. I like what he represents. Marshall says JDM path is too tough. There's terrible matchups for him. And with his demeanor, it's tough, man. Cobus Colt. B, how do you feel about Johnny Walker at heavyweight? I feel like would have knocked him out round 1. I'm worried about his chin. And he makes a lot of IQ mistakes inside that octagon. Heavyweight's going to be tough for him because he makes a lot of mistakes. And heavyweight, you don't get too many chances to, learn from him because you get knocked out. Merce Fight Club, if you're Terrence McKinney team, how do you get this talent past the first round? He has to slow down. Use it in spurts. You can use it, but we don't need to use it the entire first round. Use it in spurts. Did you boys, there we go. Right, Slowfit, did you boys watch the Home Run Derby last night? Yeah, it was awesome. I was going for Kyle Schwarber. It was fun, though. And I like that it's pitches now and not the count. The counts, or the timer sucked. Carlos said, just started watching your Tough Season. Probably my fave. Yeah, it's a good one. Sean J. Murph, if Conor does one more in the UFC, they should do him and Masvidal. Probably the best matchup considering both their time off and age. Agree? I love that fight for him. And Masvidal will sell the shit out of that thing. It's a fun fight. Abe says, I don't get why people are sleeping on Tom. He was on a run before the injury. They've always done that to Tom. Rafi says, have you heard anything about Cody No Love? He took his gloves off in the cage and Dana mentioned he was talking to Hunter in the back. You think he retires? Probably should at this point. But he has to go out right. That's not the way to do it. Jehovah Thickness. B, would you box Eddie Hall? He looked pretty damn good against Fury. Imazvu, B, how close is Paddy relative to the top dogs in BJJ like Gordon Ryan? So far. Not even close. They're not even in the same lane. Not even close. Gordon Ryan in his heyday would tap him out in 20 seconds. Wooten Warriors Boot Camp says, if Ilia isn't ready and Charles beats Arman, do we get Charles versus Justin rematch or they do Charles versus Paddy? If Ilia isn't ready, Charles beats Arman. So you have a few fights between. So you think Charles fights before Paddy, and then I don't know if Paddy's going to wait that long. Dela Cruz, what do you think that happens with the BMF? Because let's be honest, Charles is not a good BMF holder, probably the worst, and basically going to keep that belt. Would it make sense to make another one or take the BMF way? I don't think a guy should hang out. I don't think it should be something that you have to lose or win. I think just BMF belts, but at all weight classes. Like you could have 2 or 3 BMF fights on a card, and they all get belts. Aaron at work, stop and say what up. What up, man? Do work, son. That's somebody said Cody looked like he was in a bad place mentally walking out after the fight. I bet. He just got knocked out. And after all those losses, that's a tough one, brother. Sandy Go Post, the lead up to Conor Mack seemed weird. I like the lead up. I didn't like seeing him inside that octagon. Conor would get those chiclets broke up in the BKF. Conor's a tough dude, man, Nate Dogg says, Johnny Walker versus Tai Tuivasa a better matchup than Gable versus Tai. Agree. Rafi says, if Hogan can figure out middle ground between the characters, he can be superstar. Agree. We need to see more realism out of him. Black Ross, became a fan of Brendan on Tough 10. Been my guy ever since. Thanks, dude. You've been with me a hot second then. Yawning Hippie says, arrived late, but watching 2 times speed. Love it. Merce Fight Club says, I think for a Conor comeback, you mentioned he's a $30 million fight. I think Conor, he'd have to be comfortable come back cheaper and also not main event, only if he wants it. Not a chance. That's his price tag, and he, even though, this happened, this bullshit happened last Saturday, he's your main event. Shrug Lord, what up, big dog? That's when he says, B, if they offered you $10 million to fight Alex at 205, would you make it happen? Yes. Abe says, why not Charles versus Paddy? Because you miss out on Ilia versus Paddy. Charles doesn't have many left in the tank. Ilia has some left. Curtis says, hey, B, in your prime, how do you think you would have held up against Fedor? In his prime, not great, man. He was such a monster. Shrug Lord, thanks, brother. Welcome to the party. Slowfit says, Slowfit says, does the UFC look like geniuses by not signing Conor to extension and proposing his last fight into 2027? Feels like they knew it was going to be a rough night for him. I just think they didn't know, and they weren't ready to make a long-term commitment. They're Smart businessmen, you know? Let's see. Jehovah Thickness. I got my BJJ black belt in January. Congrats, man. You're the 1%. I had an amateur record of 9-0. Jeez, dude. However, have not had a fight in 12 years. I'm 36. Was thinking about getting back in the cage one more time. Thoughts? Do it. It just depends. You have kids. Like, what are you going to have to sacrifice to get back in there? And why are you doing it, brother? But it sounds like you were pretty damn good. Black Ross says, Paulo Costa is out of his mind, but he's a guy who's the biggest question mark in the middleweight division. Well, he's Paulo Costa's light heavyweight now, right? Is he beating Strickland? No. Is he? No. He's light heavyweight now, brother. AJ Thompson, I love how Paddy talks about men's mental health in the environment he's in. Super important. I'll say my thoughts on that. But he's a positive dude. I'll give you that. Curtis says, who's had a bigger fall from grace, Tony Ferguson and Cody Garbrandt? Fall from grace, that's tough. Like, Tony Ferguson put in work, was the number one contender, even though Cody was champ, it didn't last long, right? Tony Ferguson has a huge body of work. Ultimate Fighter champion, perennial lightweight contender. At one point was the best 155er on earth. And then he had the Khabib shit happen, and they blew his knee out at Fox. Fall off from grace, you know, Tony just got older, and his fighting style relied on speed and athleticism, but as you get older, that goes away. So fall from grace is different, man. Getting older in pro sports, I'd say Cody Garbrandt's had a harder time. Cody, thanks, brother. Sean J. Murph, pretty sure Charles just signed some crazy 8-fight deal like Alex did. Yeah, it doesn't mean you're getting 8 fights out of Charles. It means the UFC's locking you down so you can't jump over to other organizations. That's all that means. Jehovah Thickness, do you ever do seminars? No, sir. Imzavu says, what's the lightest weight fighter you wouldn't want to fight, B? I wouldn't want to fight. I don't know how to answer that, brother. What do you mean?
What's the smallest guy?
Fuck out of 155er.
So I mean, what about
I'd ragdoll him?
What about 170?
Like a comic book.
185, 200. Like what's the lightest that would go?
205. After that, you're just a bully. Rafi, I believe Ilia versus Paddy is a fight to make. Yep, you got to do it while the iron's hot. Blackgrass says, give yourself some credit, Brendan. The Brendan who beat Krokop would have problems for Fedor. Fedor at that time, Fedor in his prime was a problem, dude. I'd have to fly to fucking Japan or something to fight him in Pride. Like, who knows? The rules out there. J. Luke, we're going to change your name to Brendan Way Too Humble Schaub. You could change to Brendan Grew Up, you know? Jose says, told my workers we're taking our first break at 9 so I can catch us from the beginning. So you're in California, brother? But I appreciate you. The Stoner, does Corey versus Sugar still make sense? Corey's lost injury and Sugar coming off a nice KO? No. I believe we'll get that fight, especially if Corey wins his next one. But did you see the video? He definitely messed up his hamstring. Looks like he tore it. Black and blue. That's when smart move for Conor. Take your last fight. Donate money to good charity for Fighters X in the UFC. Made $30 million in 10 seconds, so it would be a good look. Depends how financially where he's at, brother. I've heard some rumblings. Patrick Martinez, have you tried the Mac energy drink? I heard some after the press conference. Sipping it after the loss is so sad. How's this drink though, dude? There's some energy drinks. I'll randomly get out of my comfort zone and try a random energy drink, and dude, some of them are so bad. The Screaming Freedom is fantastic. Not a sponsor either. I'm with First Form, but not First Form Energy. I just buy those on my own. Omar says, dude, Cody Garbrandt doesn't get the respect he deserved. He fought several fights with vertigo, and if you ever had that, you know that how that worked. Yeah, my mother-in-law has it. It's horrible. Dana had it. Captain 420, DDP wins by accidentally KO slips, falls into the wind like Homer Simpson. Yeah, his fighting style is so untraditional. He's such a nightmare to fight, and he's fucking big, dude.
Brent, we're at 40. Can we do the ad real quick?
You want to do an ad?
Yeah.
Sure. You guys care if I do an ad? I can't hear you, but I could probably read it, but I'm going to do an ad anyway. Sorry, guys. Let's do it. This episode of the Big Brown Breakdown Live is brought to you by Shopify. Shopify's template and AI tools get you stunning sites set up and running fast. No coding needed. These tools allow anyone to open a beautiful storefront that reflects their business while also being user-friendly to all potential customers. Yeah, it's great when you do it because you're like, man, what's the store going to look like? It's so much fun. I got to do it for the Big Brown merch. That's the only holdup is we're trying to create a website to launch the merch. That's the only holdup. I'm figuring out literally right before we went on air. So don't worry, I'm on it, but we will be using Shopify. Shopify checkout means more customers actually buy. Returning ones can do it in a single click because their information is saved in one place, can transition across Shopify storefront. Customers are more likely to complete that sale, and you're more likely to hear cha-ching. All right? If questions come up, Shopify's built-in AI assistant Sidekick is ready to help you build, troubleshoot, keep on moving. No need to wait in line, no frustrating, complicated searching. Just you get help in real time so you can get on with your day. All right? So if this sounds like something you can use, all you need to do is come up with the idea and Shopify handles the rest. Cha-ching! If you're serious about hearing your first cha-ching, start your free trial at shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, SCHAUB today. You heard that right. Start your free trial today at shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase. Cha-ching! Let's get back to the program. All right, here we go. Sean J. Murph, what about you versus DJ? No, sir. I want none of those problems. Black Ross, Sugar versus Corey makes no sense, but I want to see it so bad. I know. We'll get it. Sandy Gopost, Hokit beats Gable. Right now, probably. It's a tough fight, but it doesn't make sense for either of them in their careers right now. One-way Manson. Dana ruined Conor when he put him on the shelf for a stupid second Khabib fight that nobody wanted. He wanted those numbers again himself. That's why the downfall really started. Yes and no. You're letting Conor off the hook. Like he's made a ton of mistakes, man. Ton of mistakes. You know, could have been handled differently, yeah. But his bank account, he made a lot of smart choices to make money for his family. I mean, you're talking generational wealth if he's smart with it. But there, yeah. The Floyd fight, right? That was a long layoff. The Khabib stuff, not to mention all his allegations, like the partying, the money. There's a variety of reasons why it ended this way. Slowfit says, between Nick, Chin, Brian, D'Elia, and Theo, who would have a better MMA showing? Theo's super underrated athletically. If you saw him on, I think, Real World? He's a beast Road athletically. Rules. Yeah, Road Rules. I'd probably take... The problem with Brian is his age. If he does anything explosive, I'm worried about him. I'll probably take Theo. Pastor Check, yo, I'm late as F out here. Hauling hot asphalt got me missing my favorite podcast. Do work, brother. Appreciate you. Omar says, I hear Mac Energy is great for your ligaments. Well, you better double up on it. Black Ross, Volk should fight Aljo next, but Aljo's coming off a loss. Still want to see him fight for the belt. No, Aljo's coming off a win, bub. Look that up, Jen. Mm-hmm. Jose says, yes, I'm at San Diego working at a cemetery. Ooh, ever had any weird things happen in a cemetery? Murph Fight Club. Do we have a choice if you do an ad? I kind of got to do it. It comes with the territory. That's Aljo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's coming off a win.
2 wins.
Yeah. Youssef, the Moroccan Devil, and then Brian Ortega. You can give him a title shot, and that's a fun fight. Great fight. Aljo's a problem. Black Ross, do that ad, my man. Thank you, sir. Koba's Cult, what do you think is next for BSD? Nothing fun. Hey, would Aljo versus Pico be a good matchup? Yes. Again, if you guys follow me long enough, I'm a big Pico fan. Yeah, I'd love that fight. Aljo deserves a title shot, but if they not, Pico versus Aljo is fun, man. Where are we at?
Right there.
Okay. Black Ross, Evilov makes more sense. Yeah. Curtis says, I've asked a few times. Man, I didn't see it though, brother. So if I'm crossing the line, let me know. I bet you're not. I have a UFC card of your fight against Mitrione. Any chance to get it signed? Big fan. You got it, brother. Yeah, you got it. Email Chin or DM me or Chin. We'll figure it out. Crossing the line. Ask me to sign a card? Nah, man. Come on. Pastor Chuck says, is Conor even really sound to fight anything or anyone anymore? I feel like every time he steps in the octagon, something new breaks. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Graphic Gorilla says, you guys should do a limited run of T-shirts where you and the crew all sign the merch. I would love to have one of the Diet Coke Big Brown signed shirts to hang in my office. Oh, dude, that's the least I can do for you, Graphic Gorilla. We'll figure it out. I was thinking about just signing, including a signature with the first 100 shirts. So whoever was the first 100, I'll just include a special message in there, especially for the club members. Rafi says that Conor fight is like waiting for your dad to show up and play ball. He finally does and breaks his knees in the first throw. Yeah. Ask me, how would Rogan hold up sparring low-level guys in the UFC? Define low-level guys in the UFC. Maybe unknown guys, but if you're in the UFC, you should be pretty high level. Rogan would get destroyed, and he would tell you that. W. Watson, favorite country for food? America, dude. Jehovah Thickness, thanks for everything you do. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. The Stona, Schaub versus Uncle Chael and RAF. I would 1,000% do that. I don't think Chael wants these problems, though. Patrick Martinez, the energy drink is legit good. Got the orange creamsicle, make it even sadder. You need to make an energy drink next. Oh, buddy. I don't know. There's so much competition in energy drinks. J. Luke, if Conor does come back for that last fight, he should do zero press, and you mean like Ronda, and go out and try to prove himself in the octagon and give it all. I think he'd regain a lot of respect from the fans, win or lose. People would be so upset if he did zero press. He can't. He just can't. Black Ross says, my bad, Brendan, on the Aljo misinformation. You're good, man. You also messed up on Paulo Costa, but we love you. Dude, I think I said Pantoja beat Makhachev one time. So it happens, brother. Let's see. Stevie G, real question to all the ones in the chat. If Conor has a fight in April next year, are you going to watch? I always tune in because he gets the blood going like no other. I'll watch, but it's going to be different. It is. Because now, but you know what? I think it might be better for him because the expectations are so low now. It's like, just go through with a fight. Even if you get starched in 2 minutes, like just put your best foot forward. It'll still get numbies, but not like it would before. Like those days it's over, bud. It's over. I would like for him to come back to his own thing, but again, it's nothing of substance. It's not as fun anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not as fun anymore. Jehovah Thickness, I clean up crime scenes part-time on top of my day. Dude, I would love to do that part-time. As long as there's no kids involved. Just leave me out of the kid scenes, but if it's grown adults, I would love to do that. So I clean up crime scenes part-time. I got some stories for you. Lots of wild things I've ran into. Ooh, that would be fun. I'd love to hear him, dude. Wooten Warrior says, my name's Paddy. Oh, love it, dude. Is that a common name in over there? Are you from Liverpool, too? Do you think Max would have done better against Ilia at 155? Did Max gun 45 after smashing Justin, screw him over? Didn't help him. Oops. The Stoner says, Schaub versus Rampage and Game Bread. Oof. I don't know about doing bare knuckle against Rampage. I'd do RAF against Rampage. Oh, this is the guy that works in the cemetery. Jose says, only he's getting middle fingers from the homeless people at the cemetery, but I do work the second biggest mausoleum in the world, and there's a weird feeling in there. Oh, I bet, dude. God, you guys got some badass jobs. Murs Fight Club, would you and the boys be down for charity sparring? Me and the boys being like me and my sons, my kiddos? Gemma Girl says, I watch basically every card, even the Apex nonsense. I'm already signed up for whenever Conor goes again. Yeah, I watch. It could be anybody. I mean, I'm with you, Gemma. I watch it all. Welcome to the club, Diopes. That's a fair point. I have to show that later. I'll always watch Conor, but next time all my money's on the other guy, right? I know. MGK versus Conor next. Oof. Curtis says, dude, I'm so effing geek. Thank you. What's Chin's email?
AskChinsuyi@gmail.com.
You literally just made my day. Dude, it's not that big of a deal. I got you, brother. Ramirez says, I feel like Jake Paul could beat Conor MMA now. It's not a bad take. Unfortunately, that breaks my heart to say that. Comic Cody says, just bought a knife from Montana Knife Company on Shopify. Cha-ching. I love Montana Knife Company. I have several knives from there. D-Lope says, do you think the smoke they use Conor's entrance caused that mats to be slippery? I know Smacks was slipping a little too during that ground and pound. No. They've done smoke a ton. It shouldn't make it wet, but at least of Conor's problems. We wish we could chalk that up to fog. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was a fog thing, it'd make me feel way better about things. I will show myself out. Is Conor still a main event, though? 1,000%. I'm thinking co-main event. No, sir. No, sir. He's still the biggest star. Even coming, hasn't won a fight in fucking 7 years. Still the biggest star. Adam Swinney says, MGK run his mouth. Meanwhile, he get flattened in the octagon. People always tough behind the keyboards. Yeah, and he gets some attention. Captain 420, have you seen any good crime docs lately? No. Worst Neighbor Ever. It's not a crime doc, but it's good. Those are great. Everyone, like, someone's always dead in that thing. It's fantastic. Some wild-ass people out there. Trying to think. Interrogation Raw on A&E I love, too. Black Ross says, there's nothing popping some mushrooms, chocolates, and watching a good UFC on Saturday. Yeah, it's a good day for you, man. D-Lope, so did Conor put on a better performance than Nate Diaz? No. Nate blew him out of the water. Nate actually fought. Jehovah's Thickness, if Chin could, it's spelled with an I though, if Chin could collaborate with any artist, who would it be? Tim McGraw.
You knew it right away.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Sean J. Murph, new idea, podcast grappling championship. Podcast bros grapple it out for a BMF type belt, hosted by you and DJ. I'm in. You got it, Marshall. Drew Casablanca, Brendan Schaub question. Have you ever watched Widow's Bay on Apple TV? Yes, and loved it. Me and my family bin watched it. We don't have a show anymore. House of Dragons. House of the Dragon. Oh, I've seen it, brother. That's me. Just got my Justin Whitehouse cards in the mail. Ooh. Oh, my belt arrives today. My Freedom 250 belt arrives. It got delivered right when I got here.
Oh, at home, good. So I
had to deliver it at home. I'm gonna bring it for the show on Thursday.
Cool.
I'll probably take a picture of my kids on it. I don't feel like I'm gonna wear it. That feels weird, but I'll have my kiddos wear it. You'll see it on Instagram.
You could put on your shoulder.
Can't do it. Didn't earn it, bub. Big Ben, do you think you'll do a live stream for a big card again? 1,000%. It's my favorite stream I've ever done. Favorite live show I've ever done. I'd like to do it for Islam and Ian Machado Garry. It just depends on the football games. Because I think that's September. That's the heat of the season. So People says, B, you should do a pod with Mighty Mouse. Agree. I got to reach out to him. Ask Smitty, what's the story behind the globe? Nothing. I think Chin bought it and we just kept it around.
Oh, yeah.
Imzavu says, Conor could be the best slap fighter in history now. Doesn't need the bottom half. Yeah, it's not a bad take. That'd be sad to see him doing that. Hey, what are your thoughts on Sean Brady versus Jordan Burroughs on RAF? I mean, Sean Brady's going to get destroyed because there's no submissions. It's just wrestling. You know how fucking good Jordan Burroughs is at fucking freestyle wrestling? For Sean Brady, he's going to get dominated. And I love Sean Brady, but that's crazy. Nate Dogg, would you ever go hunting on public land? Hell yeah. The Stone, hey B, you ever thought about getting to reffing for fights? No, sir. You see, no, sir. No, sir. I have no desire. But did you see Herb Dean got booed? After show, but later says, you shout out my mom on the live stream. She was showing everybody she thinks she's famous. Love it. White Slurp, we get this all the time. Do you think you'd ever do a collab with MMA Guru? I'd like to see you guys chop it up. Different style, but I think you'd mesh well. I'm not sure if you've done anything with him before. I haven't. Me and him have DM'd back and forth about doing something together, but we both agree we don't want to do it via Zoom. We want to do it in person when he comes to the States, so we'll figure it out. Azu Vasquez says, what up, fam? Wish I could have been on the stream for the fight. I was out at Bucky's at a car meet in New Braunfels. Should come out and show off the diesel next time when we get a vid on it. I know. I need to do it. I've just been lazy with the car content. My truck's finally done. Got all the wrap. Just got new badges today from AEV. So I'll knock it out. Ask Smitty's, does Black Buffalo have flavors? I'm trying to get off the Zins. Or is it tobacco flavored? They have a tobacco flavored. They have a blood orange one. The straight pouches is a nice flavor. They have some flavors, brother. They have peppermint, spearmint. Marshall says, Bren, is that a Tiger or Bossy team hat you're wearing? It's for both of them. They play for Lake Travis football. This is Bossy's Lake Travis All-Star hat. That was made by Bolt, which is an Austin-based company. Sean Murph, do you think Ian really has a chance against Islam? I do. Totally unbiased opinion. Makhachev's probably the best fighter in the UFC these days. It's a very tough fight because the grappling. Machado Garry has very good takedown defense. But the chain wrestling of Islam's a freaking problem, man. And you're in there for 25 minutes. The other issue with this fight, Ian can win. He could. The issue with this fight is Ian doesn't have knockout power. And in order, I think, to get Islam out of there, you have to have that one shot, that Hail Mary in the back of your pocket where he can land at any given time. And Ian just doesn't possess that kind of power like a Prates has, a Morales has, you know. So it's a very tough fight for him. I hope he gets it done, but very tough fight. Cleveland Matt, hey B, how did the advertising team come up with the UFC cock hashtag? Who's getting fired? Yeah, someone just missed the boat. Nate Dogg, where would you go just in Texas? What do you mean? There's so much to see here, brother. Let me know where you're going. Go an hour. So we'll stop at 12:30 today. 30 more minutes. Everyone cool with 30 more minutes?
We are at the bottom right here where the captain candidate is at the.
Okay, I'm cooking. I'm ripping through these, yeah?
Yep.
Stevie G, what do you think is next for Alex Poton? Does he go down and fight for the light title or stay at heavyweight? Probably stay at heavyweight. Gilmer Girl says, dang, this chat wants a Guru or Schaub mashup real bad. Yeah, we'll make it happen. Black Ross says, I'm not trying to be a Brendan Glazer and I have so much respect for MMA Guru, but just think Brendan is so much better. Would like to see him with Chael or Dominic Cruz instead. I've done stuff with Chael and Dominic. They're great. Dominic runs circles around me. MMA Guru, it's not that I'm better than him. We're just different, right? I don't think he has any fighting experience, but he has great knowledge on the sport, which I respect. As long as it's good takes, I'm in. Abe says, hey, B, would you consider a vlog update on the vehicles like once a month? I know we do tons of stuff, so once a month. Maybe. I want to do a run-through of taking a stock 6.7 Cummins 2500 and getting it to where I'm at now. Yeah, and showing you guys like what goes into it and the amount of money it costs to get that thing cooking. It's a beast. Gilmer Girl says, real talk, has anyone ever seen a woman enjoying a pouch? I don't know any girls that have ever tried one. I won't say who it is. I had a company reach out to me and they go, hey, can you send us the analytics on your Instagram? Like the male to female demo. I'm like, I can, but for what? They go, because we're getting a big movement with young girls and nicotine pouches. I went, right. I'm probably not the guy for that. I don't know what the hell's going on there. But apparently girls are trying Zins, I guess, according to this company. They're like, we want to make a big push there. I'm like, I don't want to be on that train. Omar says, MMA Guru talks too much shit to vibe with Brendan, in my opinion. He fits in better with Sean O'Malley style pods, where he can be freely racist and disrespectful with his comments. MMA Guru does all, he has his lane, brother. There's lanes for it. Add Smitty, would you ever do a meet and greet on the East Coast? It's tough for me to leave town, brother. Black Ross, Brendan, have you ever done anything with Uriah Faber? I think combo with him would be sick. I have. It was a long time ago. He's great. Real Ice Up, what up? Vic Vell, day 87 asking for new Diesel Dad merch. I know I've been slacking on merch, brother. I'm sorry. We're just getting the Big Brown merch rolling. Captain 420, I just want to see a Brendan and Brian best podcast duo ever live. Me and Brian would do that. We'll probably do like a resident in Austin, though. White Slurp says, I watched the fight this weekend with my buddies who aren't really fight fans. Everyone was so pumped for the Mac. When he fell and tore his knees, everyone looked at me like it was my fault. Oh, I know, dude. I know. I got friends and family like arguing like, Conor's still out. You said he's done. He has one more. I'm like, you're missing the point. You don't pay attention. I'm not saying he doesn't ever return. I'm saying as far as big game hunting and like being in the running for actual substantial fights, that's over. That's all I'm saying. Of course he comes back. That's how he makes money. Stevie G says, Omar, I agree with you. Schaub usually doesn't go bad on other fighters. Never. And I feel like that's all Guru does. He is funny with some of his takes, though. Yeah, again, that's what he does. But he's allowed to do that because he's not like part of the fraternity. Like he didn't fight, so it's different. He gets a pass doing that. The Fool Chris says, do you watch any car YouTubers? I need something new. I've watched every Scrap Life, Rich Rebuild, Speed Street. Yep. Mr. Zachary's my guy. He's actually coming out here, I think, Friday. Mr. Zachary's awesome. That's my boy. Zach's my boy. I don't watch a ton of YouTube. Like yesterday, I watched an hour of TV yesterday. I'm on episode 6 or 7 of From. I watched that in bed with my wife at night. Other than that, I got done with work. I had to do some work on the house, and then I took the boys to football from 6 to 8:30. Came home, had a light dinner, watched 1 hour TV, fell asleep. Nate Duck says, I was asking about public land hunting. There isn't much public in Texas. Would you come out west to hunt? There's a lot of stuff out here, but I have a lot of buddies. I shouldn't say buddies. I sound like Brian there. I have a lot of people that offer for me to fight on their land. Not fight. Well, I'm sure they'd have me fight on their land. Hunt. Marshall says, Dugout Dads merchandise, where we love your coaching. Thanks, brother. Oh, where was I at?
Right here.
All right. Peep says, We got 25 more minutes, guys. I'm going to try and get to all these. Let's see. I asked this earlier. Is it me or is UFC doing a poor job pushing new talent into the spotlight? Because they don't have to. They don't have to. It's not that they're doing a poor job. Their business model is different. Black Rouse, Ian is beating Islam. Imagine when Volk fought Islam the first time. How good he did. Now imagine if he was 6'2". Okay, well, just imagine Ian Gary. Oof, Ian Gary and Volk have different fighting styles, brother. But I see what you're saying. I hope Ian wins. It's a tough matchup, man. But again, I thought Justin Elliott was crazy. I also picked Conor beat Max. I'm a dumbass. Ad Smitty, baby girl just blew out her diaper. Gotta go, dude. I know how that goes, brother. Do work. Imzavu says, would Conor have to pay to leave his contract, or would they just release him? They just release him. They both agree to go their separate ways. After show, but later, let's plan a big round breakdown meetup in Vegas 2027. I'd be down to do a live one and like a Q&A live somewhere next year. I'd be totally down for that. And come in the week of a big fight. Black Ross, Sugar versus Batista. How we feeling on that? I love it. I love it. It's not an easy fight for Sugar, but it's a great fight. Great matchup. Sean J. Murph, follow up on Ian Gary. Do you think Prates could beat him in a rematch? I'm pretty high on Prates nuts, but honestly, I think he'd win a rematch. Also, how about Ian versus Morales? The problem is with those is Ian's such a surgeon on the feet where he doesn't take a lot of risk and his footwork's so good and he's fine beating guys by decision. He probably beats Prates again and he probably beats Morales. And it's not that styles make fights. He's just a bad style matchup for a lot of those young lions. That's the problem. That's why, the UFC is kind of keeping away from those guys. And becomes champ, he's going to have no choice. So I think that's why they're doing it. Omar says, I do like Guru stuff. I'm a fan. Just seems like you're in different lanes, but I'd still love to see it. I don't think he will come back to the States. We should bring Mayhem on. Yeah, Mayhem's my boy. I'm the first one to bring Mayhem back, by the way. Love Mayhem. Alex, what it do, Big Brown? What up, man? Kobe's Colt. Would you ever go on Kill Tony? I feel like you and Rogan would be hilarious. I've been on there a bunch. Before, not the animal it is now, but I've been on there a bunch. Drew Casablanca, what car do you remember in your early days doing street racing in? My brother's WRX. And he had a Camaro Z28. And he had a V6 Mustang. I'll show but later. I listen to a gang of podcasts because I can listen while I do shit. Correct. Me too. Yeah. Out of all the media content, I only listen. I don't really watch anything. Like I've never seen an MMA Guru podcast. I see his takes. And I've seen some of the stuff that he does on other shows, but I've never sat down and watched anybody else's shit. I've listened to, I only listen to stuff. Carlos, can you collab with Cletus McFarlane and do some drag stuff? Me and Cletus talked about it. Yeah. The Stoner, I love Shaw, but Callan's so annoying. He's older, man. You gotta love Callan. Comment Cody, you earned it. You have receipts to prove it. Earned what? Yawning Hippie Chick, any updates on the Gearheads Gone Wild in the works? Nothing yet, brother. Nothing yet. You guys be the first to know. My entertainment agent deals with that. So whenever they tell me, I don't really harass him on it. So he's dealing with that behind the scenes. So as soon as I know, I'll let you know. Alex, if you need a solid movie, look into The Irishman. Bro, that's so old, but it's a good movie. It's long, and the AI and it's a little wonky to make Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci look younger, but whatever. It's a good movie. Jehovah's Thickness, do you think you'd be ranked in the top 5 or top 10 if you were to come out of retirement? I'd have some work to do before I got there. You're saying like in my prime? Absolutely. But now I'd have a lot of work to do. Omar, Sean O'Malley and Batista are friends too and not positive, but I think they both train with Tim. Sean will avoid him for as long as possible. The UFC doesn't care about any of that. Marshall, Brent, Spain or France? I know you got England over Argentina. Hell yeah, go England. I hope Spain wins because France is such a dominant force, but France can be tough to beat, man. Jalen Swin, Podcast One in Google says you don't have a new deal. Podcast One didn't say that. I signed the biggest deal I've ever signed in podcasting with them a few months ago. Multiple year deal. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this. Omar says, dude, you were on Rogan a month ago. What do you mean not the animal it is now? No, not Rogan. Rogan's bigger than ever. I'm saying Kill Tony. Kill Tony, that show's mainstream now. When I was on it, it was like a niche thing. That's what I mean. Captain 420, Brian's the best, funniest man alive. He's pretty funny. Black Ross says, I think Colby Covington kind of pulled a lame move by turning down the Bo Nickel fight at the White House and then says he wasn't offered to be on the card. It wouldn't have been easy, but he should have done it. Agree. Rod Sports, MMA, and stuff. I'm in a different camp, Brendan. I love the one-on-one engagement on the watch-along. You brought real insight and genuine emotion all night. The Rogan style hang turns it into just a hang. Yeah, agree. It's just a different thing. Like, I'm more focused on fighting when I watch it with you guys, and that's more like, especially that's the only time we really get quality time with each other. So it's a hang, just different. It's fun. Jehovah Thickness. What's the one car that got away? My GT2 RS. I wish I kept it. They're worth like $900,000 now. One car that got away. Me and my brother were looking for this Honda S2000 back in the day. I remember it was like $6,000. Had like 4,000 miles on it, but neither of us had money. But we were gonna pull the trigger and put our money together, and it got away. I think about that once a week. Alex says, could a prime Hendo beat a prime Alex? You'd create a lot of problems for him. Gilmore Girls, I'm just learning today Kobe had a White House offer. That's what Bo and some of the UFC brass were saying. You're good, Omar.
We can do the poll, too, if you want to check the...
Oh, what's the poll looking like? Ryan Biting, do you think Paddy would beat Justin if they fought, let's say, next weekend? No. I don't know how he gets him down. He's forced to strike with him. Abe says, any specific memory that pops up in your head when you think of the old Rogan pans with the OG crew? A lot. My best memories are when Eddie was going on his rant back in the day before like conspiracies were cool. And the term woke didn't mean what it means now. And Eddie was right on a ton of it, and everyone was mean to him. I always encouraged it, but Rogan and Brian won't have it. Those are so fun, man. Those are my best memories. Does Tom beat Gane? 66% say yes. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Carlos, hey B, have you tried Connor's cigars? My buddy had one for the fight. It wasn't bad while sipping his whiskey. Did you smoke it backwards like a real man? Connor sent me a box of his cigars. I got to find them in my house. I'll bring them in. I got them like, I don't know, probably 4 months ago. Alex, what's next for Charles? The whole 55 division is a bit of a clusterfuck right now. They just got to make one big matchup, and then we'll know what's next for everybody. So we're just kind of waiting. It's going to come soon. Leo Silva, what's the biggest fight at heavyweight other than Tom Gane? Hokit Poton. Koba's Cult, who's winning, Bryce Mitchell or Mikey Musumeci? Mikey. Johnny says, you and Rogan ever think about doing a campaign, just the two of you? He's talked about it. I would be down. We've done it before. I also think I'm the only guy ever to host a JRE. He was out of town, and he was like, hey, man, I need you to host while I'm not there. I'm like, what? That was crazy.
Who was the guest?
I think it was Brian, Eddie, and somebody else. But yeah, I drove the mothership. I don't think that will ever happen again. That was a cool experience. A lot of pressure. Black Ross, my favorite moments are when Brendan would just wind up Brian and Eddie and then just sit back and act all calm. Yeah, that was my favorite thing to do because I know it's going to get the show going. The Stoner, you and Joey Diaz on a fight coming together would be hilarious and entertaining. We've done it a bunch, man. Joey's my guy. Joey's also moving to Austin.
He's getting a place here, I heard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael Scarino, do you think the heavyweight division has got some new life with Stevenson and Hokett? Yeah, 100%. And boy, did it need it. Black Ross, I love Brian. Have so much respect for him. When he talks conspiracies, I shut down. Because Brian won't have fun with them, so he just doesn't make conspiracies fun. He believes too much in the government, so it's not fun. Patty here. Honestly, I think Islam going to struggle with Gary's style and size. Volk is elusive like Gary, and tiny cause him Islam problems. I think Gary wins by points. Thoughts? I like it. Yeah, no, Ian Gary's fighting style is tough for anybody. I don't care who you are. It's going to be tough. But 25 minutes into the Islam, that fight's definitely going to end via decision. I'll say that. Unless Ian struggles in the takedown department and he can't get back to his feet, then it could get dicey for him. Shrug Lord, do you think they could – we got 14 more minutes, kids. Shrug Lord says, do you think they could fast-track Gable by giving blades, both wrestlers, and decent striking? I don't – they shouldn't do that. Again, I keep telling you guys, on the business side of it, if you're Gable, you don't want to fight the Blades of the world. You don't want to fight the Hokett's, the Poetons, because you're getting paid like you're on your first contract. You want to fight the easiest fights possible, get your beak wet, fight 4 of them, and then renegotiate and get paid to fight those big names. Alexander, would Walker be a good fight next for Gable? Talking about the older one who does the heel hooks? Yeah, that'd be fun. That's a good next step. Omar, I hope Bryce Rampage slams Mikey. That'd be fun. Carlos, would you bring Joey in for a live? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to add anybody. I just like talking to you guys and doing my thing, you know? For the lives, like I'll do another campaign with Rogan. We'll do stuff like that. But as far as this goes, like I've had guys reach out, especially in the MMA space, like, oh, next one, let's do it together. I'm like, I'm good, man. I don't like banking on anybody. I like me and Chin and going to work and you guys. That's what I like. Austin says, RAF this weekend, Kobe Arman. Also, Ben Askren, Bilal. Interested to see how that unfolds. I know. I just hope Askren's okay health-wise. That's all I hope for. I don't care about his performance. Just him doing that's insane in a great way. I just want him to be healthy. Marshall says, love when Rogan and Brian go at each other. So funny, dude. Yeah, they've been friends so long, it gets pretty heated. Abe says, Ty versus Gable would be a good, dangerous power for Gable. Ty still cracks. You can't give Gable a guy who's on a 7-fight skid, though. Kevin Pluggett, can Gable get his striking decent enough to not get hit? Seems like he gets hit a lot, and some of his heavier punches KO him, depending on how good his chin is. He'll get there. Marsh says, Bella Mayer definitely a beast right now. Yes, she's a problem. Black Ross says, remember when Islam was compromised by a body shot from Volk? Changed how he fought the rest of his fight. He got lit up after that body shot. Ian hits him like that. He's winning decision. I hope you're right. Sticky Icky Ricky says, Ryan Spann is ranked 15. Should be next for Gable. That's a tough fight. But it's a good next step. Sean Murphy, I think Ian's height will be an advantage for Islam to get inside under punches for takedowns. Yes, and that's a great take because one of the reasons that Volk had so much success against Islam is because of his size. You know, he's low to the ground, so it's tough to get underneath him. Ian's tall. That's gonna be a problem. Peep says, keep the lives pure. We don't need any random fluff in here with you. Agree, brother. Prezzo says, can we please get Charles versus Paddy? Man, I'm Paddy Ilia guy. Black Ross says, we saw Ilia lose. We saw Hamzat lose. I know those were a little different, but I don't care. Islam's next to lose. It'd be wild if he did. That would be more surprising than Ilia losing was fucking surprising. J. Luke says, as a fellow Arkansan, I always root for Bryce, but man, the second-hand embarrassment is real on some of his takes. Yeah, he's a colorful dude. I was at the Tucker Carlson party with him. He's such a good person. I don't mind him because he believes what he says. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Do I agree with him? No. But he genuinely believes it. So he might just be misguided, but at least he's not faking it. I can deal with him being his authentic self. No matter what it is, whether I agree or not, he's authentic as hell. Rod Sports MMA. We know you hosted a JRE campaign. It was McGregor UFC 189. And it had you known who his lady that night. Epic center of all the online BS. And had it known you and his lady that night. What do you mean, brother? The Stoner. Does Gable's old charges affect his hype? I just found out about them the other day. The charges were dropped, but not a good look. Doesn't help. Dude, did you see Sean Strickland's message with Nina Drama when she was interviewing Gable? And he goes, if there's any weird objects around, it could get weird. Dude, such a savage. Marshall says, will we ever see Bellamere versus Lesnar? No, because I don't think Maya Lesnar's in that world. Perezzo Style says, I know you want Ilia Paddy, but we need Paddy Charles before he gets too old. Nah, you got to strike with irons hot, you know? Ilia and Paddy both only have one loss in the UFC. It just makes sense. All right, we got 8 minutes left, kids. Keep them coming. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Common Cody 250 belt. Yep, it's at the crib right now. I'll take a picture online of it. Austin Jiu-Jitsu says, I love Ilia Paddy too, but how long does Ilia have to take off come from being like that? Realistically, is he into early next year before he return at the point? I'd say like a November, December return, which would make sense for Paddy too. Paddy again, are you hyped to see Usman this weekend? I hope he smashes DDP ground and pound and then gets the Strickland rematch. That'd be fun. Yeah, I root for Usman too. I love Usman. But DDP's a problem, dude. Jeff says, I have a 1-year-old baby girl, but I feel paranoid about everything. Any advice? No, that's normal. That means you care. You just don't want to be a helicopter parent too much. I assume it's your first one. Like with Billy, even though she's had some health problems, you're a little more lackadaisical when they're getting in the mud or running around because you've been through it. Mike Street says, I missed it. Started pouring 333 yards of concrete last night at 1:30 in the morning. I'll sit this one out. My knee hurts. God, I bet. How's that back, dude? Captain 420, thanks, sir. Alex says, could they make Hooker versus Charles happen since we haven't seen it yet? Or does Dan need to build himself back? Yeah, Dan's a far cry from that. Dan was asking for Bobby Green. Marshall says, that USA Full Violence shirt is tough. Yeah, Full Violence sent me a bunch of stuff to make some dope shirts. We might be doing a collab with them in Big Brown. I meet with them when I'm in LA next week. Omar says, dude, don't feel embarrassed. I'm from the North, California. Tons of people here agree with most of what Bryce says. Very country mindset, nothing wrong with it. He means well and stands by what he believes. Yeah, I mean, whether I agree with the takes or not, at least he's authentic. A lot of guys are just fake and doing it for views. Bryce is not. Jay Luke says, when you take the pic with the belt, tag Dana in it and say, I can't believe I wasn't on the White House card, JK, but it would be hilarious. Dude, I can't take a picture with the belt. I didn't earn it. I'll let my kids do it. Jeff, Spain or France? Probably France, but I'm rooting for Spain. Perezzo says, what would you do with Charles? I don't know, man. I got to see what's going on. I would like Arman Charles for a 5-rounder, to be honest with you. But again, what's Justin going to do? What's Paddy going to do? What's Ilia going to do? Like, there's a lot of going on. Wyatt, best running back of all time, Barry Sanders. Koba's Cult says, I feel like Strickland, DDP, and Hamzat are just going to pass the title back and forth like rock, paper, scissors. They all cancel each other out. I'm here for it. We have 5 minutes left, kids. Black Ross says, I'm going to go for health. I'm going to go to hell for saying this, but the UFC needs to drop the female divisions, make female stars, and post them all over social media like the non-UFC women. That's a tough take, brother. Kevin Plunkett, how far does Robert Whittaker go at 205? Sky's the limit. You know, I'd like to see one more warm-up before I say he's going to be champ, but one more. Gemma says, Bryce doesn't mean harm in anything he says. I think he means well and is a true patriot. Can't hate that man. He loves America. Agree. Black Ross, Brendan, you have too much of a talent for fashion, not me making more merch. Thanks, brother. Not these days, right? I dress like a freaking gym dad these days, but I hear you. Rod Sports MMA, is it wrong that I'm dreaming Conor had a meniscus tear or MCL injury and came back quick? Non-testing pool entry recovery? I still believe it's real to me, damn it. It's real to me. Remember that video? MCL, you ain't falling like that. Like I said, I've torn my meniscus. You ain't falling like that. Slowfit, is there a big difference training for a 3-round fight compared to 5-round? Yes, night and day. 5 rounds a nightmare. Black Ross, Whittaker is a champ by end of the year, if not early next year. Oof. White Slurp, LA next week, pop by the golden hour. Dude, I'm so packed. If I could fit in, I would. I'm so packed. The only time I have free is at night. I'm seeing all my old baseball dads. Kiddos are going to be with their old baseball buddies. I can't wait. Yawning Hippie says, like the video before you go. Pastor Check, Aspinall to fight this year? Yeah, Ciryl Gane, man. What are we thinking? Are they saying October in Paris, which is bullshit?
I think it said September.
Marsh says, I think Arman submits Charles. I mean, they fought before he did it. And that fight got dicey for Arman in the 3rd round, but he beat him, you know, because he's working round 1 and 2. Kevin Plunkett, can you get Bryce and Eddie together for a podcast? You wouldn't have to say a word. It'd be amazing. It would be amazing. Eddie's not really going that hard in the paint anymore publicly on shit. He kind of, you know, he doesn't want to deal with the backlash, I think. Koba's Call, I feel like Robert Whittaker versus Dominic Reyes is the move. That's a good take, my brother. Slowfit, the biggest take from Arman versus Charles was if it was a 5-round fight, Charles would have won. Yeah. That's why they need to do that. Prezzo's style says, what's your ideal end of the year fight card lineup? Paddy, Ilia, Tom, Ciryl Gane, Strickland, Hamzat, I guess. Pantoja, Van. Marias, Prates. Let's effing go, Tom. Yes. Jeff says, what's the difference from being a girl dad and boy dad? I have a girl and man, nothing better in the world. Shout out to Chin. You're more, your dad's spidey sense is more on with the baby girl, right? The world's a lot more scary for girls. I'll put it that way. Also, right now she's great and cute, but once she starts, like, does she go heavy in sports? You know, I don't, is she me like into softball, volleyball? Like sports, that's my that's my love language. So I don't know if she's just like into dolls and stuff. I don't know what to do. I'm sure I'll adapt though. It's gonna be awesome. Jesse says, "Damn, you gonna do your OG fan like that? Not even notice? What'd you send, brother?" Jesse, where's Jesse's?
Here's this.
OG T-Fat K fan here. I don't get what you're referring to, brother. Stevie G, that's because Eddie's always right. Doesn't want him to be killed. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he believes that. Slowfit says, I like how Poton was saying he might not fight. Then Conor tells him to let it go. Now he says he wants to fight at MSG. I do love that too. Austin Fair, wait, you're down to see Strickland Hamzat too? Yeah. I would assume that's what they do. You know, I assume that's what they're going to do end of the year. I always like seeing Strickland fight. I'd like to see him beat Hamzat twice. John, what up, big dog? All right, kids, it's 12:30. It's 12:30. Thank you guys so much. Again, favorite time of the week, talking to you guys, chatting with you guys every Tuesday, Friday. Thank you guys so much for making this what it is, man. I love you guys. To the chat, thank you guys for the kick-ass questions. We're back live Thursday. Again, business as usual, 11 a.m. Central Time. Just says you need to make these longer, brother. Yeah, I agree. I got in trouble last time for making it too long. All right. Love you guys, man. Be safe out there. I will see you Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Friday, we're back on the chat. Thank you, Gemma. Thank you. Graphic Gorilla. Thank you, guys. All you guys. Black Ross. All you guys. Thank you so much. Till next time, I'm Big Brown. I'm out.